Let's talk about biblical inerrancy, what it is, where it came from, and why the verses people use to defend it don't actually mean what they think. Spoiler alert, I'm going to get some pushback for this one. It'll be okay. First off, what is inerrancy? It's the belief that every part of the Bible is totally accurate. No contradictions, no mistakes, no wrong details at all in history, theology, or anything else it touches. In 1978, a group of American conservative evangelicals met in Chicago and wrote what's called the Chicago Statement on Biblical Inerrancy. They were responding to modern pressure, archaeology, contradictions, science, and historical criticism. Basically, they felt the authority of the Bible was being challenged. So they tried to lock in a belief that the Bible is perfect. Now, here's the key question. What verses did they use to justify that? Well, you know they point to good old 2 Timothy 3:16. All scripture is God-breathed. They'll point to Psalms, saying God's words are perfect and pure. But here's the problem. When 2 Timothy was written, the New Testament as we know it didn't exist yet. This was before the Gospels were written down. The scripture Paul is referring to is the Hebrew scriptures, not Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. So when people use 2 Timothy to defend inerrancy, they're treating Paul like he was talking about a Bible that wouldn't even exist for another 300 years. So between how long it took for us to get this unified list of the 27 books of the Bible that we now call the New Testament, and the high probability that 2 Timothy was written before the Gospels, I personally don't see how this verse claims all 66 books of the Bible are inerrant and perfect. And the Psalms, those verses were praising God's teaching and God's law, not describing a flawless library of future Christian books. The writers of Psalms were more than likely not giving us this doctrine of a fully perfect Bible. They were expressing worship, not outlining a technical theological claim. So when people grab those verses to defend modern inerrancy, they're reading a modern doctrine back into an ancient world. The doctrine came later. The justification came afterwards. So what do you think? Does the Bible actually teach inerrancy? Or did we create that idea later? Tell me what you think down in the comments.